Hi guys! Today we're going to be talking about surface area, and I have a problem. You see, I have this box and I want to wrap a present in it, but I only have so much wrapping paper. How do I know exactly how much wrapping paper to use to cover my box? Well, my wrapping paper is pink, so what I'm going to do is first, I think I'm going to trace my box onto the paper. So I trace the bottom of my box, and where the box sits, that's your base. So that's the base of my box. But I still have more sides. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and trace my sides on the other side. Let's see. Okay. And that's on that side. So here's the base and here's each of my sides. I still need to do the other two sides. So far, it looks like that. The middle one is my base. That's what my box sits on. These other sides, they're called faces because they face you when you look at your box. If I turn my box, now the base becomes the face because it's facing me. Just remember the base is what it sits on. So I'm looking at this, and I know when I fold it up, I still don't have the top part. So since my wrapping paper has run out, I'm going to trace the top on another sheet. Here's the top. So if I lined up everything I drew, I would have something like this. What I have done is I've created a net. A net is the shape of my entire box. If I folded this, it should match my box exactly, and that's my goal. But, of course, this is construction paper. It's not really wrapping paper. I want to know exactly how much wrapping paper. So how am I going to figure that out? All right, now I have actually cut out my entire net. The next thing I'm going to do is some measuring. I'm going to measure my base. I see that the length of my base is 11 inches. Now I'm going to measure my width, which I can see is 4 inches. So I know that length times width gives me area. So the length times the width of my base would be 11 inches times 4. Now that's going to give me 44 square inches. So I know how much I would need just to cover the base, right? I would need 44 square inches. Well, I know the top of my box is exactly the same as the bottom. So if you remember, this was my top piece. Let me double check. It is. It's 11 by 4. So therefore, I know the area of the top also has to be 44 square inches. So I know the top and I know the bottom. Now I've got some sides to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this side. It's 11 inches long, which makes sense. And the width of this side, it's a little shorter. It's actually 3 inches. So again, I know length times width gives me area. So the area of my side would be 11 times 3, which is 33 square inches because it's area. Now, isn't this side the same as this side? It is. And I can double check with my ruler. And it's 11 inches long. And the width is also 3. So I know that the area of this side is also 33 square inches. So far I know the area of those 4 sides. Now I gotta do these little flaps. Again, it's a rectangle, so length times width gives me area. So the length of this one is 3 inches. And my width is 4. Like that. So I'm going to take 3 times 4, which gives me, of course, 12 square inches. And isn't this flap exactly the same as this flap? It is. You can measure it to double check. So I know that that one is going to have an area of 12 square inches. So far, I found the area of each side of my box. But how does that help me with surface area? Well, simple. This is a rectangular prism. It has 6 sides, and I can see that from my net. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I found the area of each side. Now all I have to do is add up the 6 areas. So I'm going to take 33 plus 44 plus 33 plus 44 plus 12 plus 12. And then I will find my surface area. So I did the math. I added 33 plus 33 plus 44 plus 12 plus 12. And I got 178 square inches. I made sure that I had 6 numbers that I was adding up. And you might notice that these 2 are the same, these 2 are the same, and these 2 are the same. If it's a rectangular prism, that's the pattern you'll see. So it's a great way to double check your work. Now I know when I go to the store that I need 178 square inches of wrapping paper. And when I wrap it up, it's gonna match exactly. So I went ahead and I took our net and I covered the box. So you can see it matches exactly. So I could take my net and trace that pattern onto wrapping paper and then it'll match exactly. Kind of a long way to take to wrap a present, but kind of fun. So remember, the base is what it sits on and the face are the sides that are looking at you. So if I sat it on this side, now this side's the base and this would be a face. Okay, today we talked about surface area of a rectangular prism.